For years, I kept asking myself the question, if manifestation is real, how can I prove it? Because I've been trying for years and nothing really happened that made me truly believe. But 2 weeks ago, something happened that completely changed my perspective on manifestation and what manifestation is. And I'm going to prove to you that it is real. So I had 10 hours drive. I had no distractions because car's radio didn't work. I had no music, no podcasts, no nothing. So it was just me, the road, and a lot of time to think about life. And it was late afternoon, and I was going down this very big motorway. The sky was cloudy and gray, and then all of a sudden, a gap started to form in the clouds, and this very intense, bright yellow light of the sun started to come through in between the clouds, and all of a sudden, everything just came to life. The trees of the mountains, the road, the reflections on the road, the inside of the car, everything started to come alive. And that's when it occurred to me that manifestation is absolutely real. And I'm going to tell you what exactly made me think this. But first, let's just turn into the meaning of the word manifestation and its origins and try to explain what does it really mean. So manifestation comes from the Latin word manifestus, which is made up of two words. One is manus, which is hand, literally, and the other is fendere, which means to grasp, to hit, to hold something in your hands or with the hand. So something manifest is something that's physical, that you can touch or grasp in a very real sense. And the realization that I had was that the same distance it took me 2 minutes to go from one mountain to the other, it would have taken someone 100 years ago hours, even days, because it's a mountain, it's rough terrain, you can just simply cross it. And I can. And I don't even think about it. How is this possible? How is it that I don't even think about the literal miracle it is that I can do a 10-hour journey, which would take 100 years ago, maybe months? It's mind-blowing. And then this led me to another realization, which is how lucky I am to be able to travel in such a comfortable and convenient way. And then this led me to another realization. Wait a minute, this is not a miracle. This didn't just happen. This didn't just materialize in front of my eyes. Someone, or actually many someones, spent their whole lives trying to figure out how to make a vehicle that's not only efficient, but it's also convenient and takes you from one place to the other safely and fast. Someone spent years, decades, centuries thinking about this idea. And then my mind nudged me in another direction, kind of to expand the whole concept. And not only the car, but the road itself. Years and years of perfecting the art of mixing different materials, engineering techniques to build a bridge strong enough to bridge the gap between two distant mountains that people could not even cross 100 years ago. And then not just only the road, like the clothes, everything, my phone, my GPS, my food, everything. I'm sure it was not a straight road. It had many detours and many little other roads converging into the idea of a car. There were coincidences and accidents and mistakes along the way. Those mistakes created new ideas. And by chance or coincidence, they all converged into what is the car. But let me explain with something that you've held at least once in your life, I'm pretty sure, and that you don't even think how it came about. An apple. Let me explain. So, the original apple tree was not an apple tree, was something else that gave a fruit that was quite small and sour. It was not edible at all, at least for humans. Animals did like to eat it, and it was located somewhere along modern-day Kazakhstan. It survived for thousands and thousands of years because animals would eat it, and then they would poo, and they would spread their seeds all over, and it would spread away. And then came the traders from the Silk Route that would go from east to west. Their horses would eat those same fruits and would spread the seed further and further away into the west. And by accident of human intervention, one of those trees gave a fruit that was much bigger than the original fruit, and not only bigger, but it was sweeter. And someone noticed this. Also, parallel to the tree being born by accident, Romans and Greeks were perfecting the art of grafting, which is essentially cloning a tree. So one day, a Roman or Greek farmer found the perfect apple tree. It gave the sweetest fruit, and he or she decided to clone it. And then you might be asking, why didn't people just plant fruit from the trees that gave good fruit? The problem was that apple genetics are so random because they have so much variety that even a perfect fruit can grow into a tree that has small, sour, and barely edible apples. So what this farmer did was, instead of planting the seeds, which he or she knew that would give a random result, they got a branch of the good tree and decided to clone it and pass along the generations what we now know as an apple. And this was around 2,500 years ago. And the crazy thing is that even though these are two completely unrelated events, they converged together and created an apple. And today we go to the supermarket and we buy apples and we don't even think about it twice. And now, with this understanding of the depth and the width of how an apple actually came to be, multiply that by every single other fruit and vegetable that we have available today, and then multiply it by everything else around you, the chair, the screen, the building, and then even further, the mindset, psychology techniques, physical practices, spiritual practices, the words and the language I'm using right now to convey this message. And this all converges in this single conclusion, which is we are not just surrounded by objects and things, we are surrounded by thousands and thousands of years of undeniable proof that manifestation not only exists, but it works. And you don't even have to believe it, you just have to look around you. Now, I haven't cracked the code of any of this, but this 10-hour journey did not give me the answer for my particular life situation. I'm not living my dream life. I'm not pretending to be someone else. But it gave me something far more important, or rather, it didn't give me, it took away. It took away the not believing that manifestation is real and that we already live the miracle of manifestation in our daily lives.